My favorite movie of all time is a 20-minute short film called Emilie Muller. It is 20 minutes long and it is available on YouTube for free. And I'm gonna explain why, but I'm running into a bit of a dilemma here because I think everyone should watch this movie and I don't want to just spoil it for you, but you know, I recognize that you just clicked on this video, you want to get your time's worth. You don't want to just click on a video and then immediately click on something else and then come back to the video 20 minutes later. You want to watch the video. And granted, like I said, you know, the movie's for free on YouTube. I'll link it in the description. It's not even an official upload or anything. I think it's just a bootleg. But I still understand why you wouldn't do that. And it's also pretty slow paced 20 minutes. It's not like it's an action film or anything. And so it might not be everyone's cup of tea in the first place. So how I'm going to structure this review is I'm going to start with a non-spoiler review. Then I'm going to move into a bit of a plot recap in case you didn't watch it. I won't be exhaustive about the recap because I don't really like doing recaps, but I'll just do it so you have enough if you haven't seen the film to understand why I love it so much. And then I will talk about the end of the movie and sort of talk about my thoughts on the ending of the film. So if you're watching this and at any point you get really invested and you think, oh, I should actually watch this, the link is right there in the description. You can think of the chapter marks in this video as like checkpoints, and you can treat each new chapter as a new point to pause the video and go to watch the film. And let me tell you about why Emilie Muller is my favorite film. This is the most inspiring movie ever made. In this movie, I counted 1 location, 4 characters, 5 shots, and that's all it took to make my favorite film of all time. This film that is so engaging and thoughtful and beautiful was made with so little, and it's incredible given how simple the movie is. If you don't know, the premise is a casting director meets a young actress, Emilie Muller, who's auditioning for a part. And as a bit of an exercise to get to know her more, he asks her to pull out items from her bag and just talk about them. Explain like how she feels about them, where she got the item, whatever. Just whatever comes to her mind. And the movie's not lying to you. It's not like the movie, you know, goes in a radically different direction at the end. And again, the fact that I find this movie so resonant and so beautiful, considering that's all it really is incredible to me. You know, I find the most inspiring movies to be very low budget movies because it just shows that anyone can make a movie. And I think that's a beautiful message to send. I love all these kinds of films, right? You know, I love this kind of filmmaking. And I think Emilie Muller is the best argument for it to exist. It's very smart filmmaking, even though there's only 5 shots. Each shot feels purposeful. They didn't need any more shots. You know, it's so incredible that so few shots in sequence may change a person's life. But this movie does it. But why? Why am I saying it's beautiful over and over again? Why am I doing all of this? Well, that's really all I can say without getting into spoilers. And while I don't think the movie like sucks if you know what's gonna happen in it, it does lose a pretty magical moment. So just fair warning before we get into the rundown part of this. So I've already explained to you the premise, right? Casting audition, Emilie Muller comes in, hey, describe the contents of your bag. You know the setup. Before that happens though, Emilie explains that she learned about this audition through a friend. She's actually not an actress, but her friend convinced her to go. Though, ironically, her friend did not show up herself. The casting director's like, why'd you come? If you're not an actress, you know, you could have just said no. And Emilie explains like why the script resonated with her.
Oui, à cause de l'histoire. Enfin, le scénario. Cet homme coincé dans une pièce et cette femme qui court le monde de sa place, ça m'a beaucoup touchée.
And then we get to the main premise of the short.
Je fais comment?
Vous tirez un objet au hasard et puis vous me racontez ce que ça fait dans votre sac, ce que ça vous évoque.
A pamphlet that she finds in her bag prompts her to talk about her work history, you know, what she does for a living. She moves on to real estate ads and talks about how when she sees real estate ads, she sometimes imagines her life should she live in the house in the ad.
Je pourrais amener des amis où l'on pourrait boire, écouter de la musique jusqu'à très tard dans la nuit. Quand je lis l'annonce d'une maison, j'imagine aussitôt la vie que je pourrais y mener. Parce que, bon, une maison, c'est forcément le début d'une nouvelle vie. Je veux dire, des odeurs différentes, des couleurs nouvelles. Ou alors la solitude totale. Rien, personne à qui parler.
A notebook where she talks about her writing habits.
Vous notez quoi?
Ou une histoire, un bout de rêve, une phrase que j'ai lue dans un livre. Je passe mon temps à noter. C'est une manie absurde.
Pourquoi absurde?
I know I've been kind of just listing off everything they talk about, but I won't list everything because one, like I said, I want you to watch the film. And two, I just think it'd be a bit of a boring video to just list everything they talk about. But you get the idea. She's bringing out these items and talking about what they mean to her and describing her life through these items. At a certain point, she talks about her struggles connecting with other people in a relationship.
C'est très inattendu parfois.
Par exemple?
Je sais pas, il peut souffler d'un mot, d'un geste. Pour eux, c'est sans importance, mais pour moi, c'est suffisant. Ça suffit pour que je me rende compte qu'il n'y a rien de commun entre nous.
Et après, vous les revoyez plus?
Ah non, ça je peux pas. Les gens que j'ai aimés, je cherche toujours à les revoir. En cherchant à effacer quelqu'un de sa vie, c'est finalement un peu de sa vie qu'on efface. Et puis, la vie fait déjà tout pour séparer les gens, alors...
She pulls out a book, a non-fiction book, and explains that she prefers non-fiction to fiction.
Allez de souvenirs. Je ne lis plus que ça. Et des biographies, des journaux intimes aussi. Il faut que je sois sûre que ce que je lis a été vécu par quelqu'un. Sans ça, le livre me tombe des mains.
And then she's abruptly told that her time for the audition is over. And she walks out. Now that is not the end of the film, but it is the end of the rundown. Because like I said, I want to talk about the ending of this film as its own section. If you want to watch the ending of the short for yourself, which I highly recommend, this is your last chance to pause the video and then come back once you've watched the short. So there'll be new bits of information that you'll be able to find. So the ending.
Hé, Olivier!
Ouais.
Elle a oublié son sac, Emilie. Tu la rattrapes tout de suite?
Oh, mais ce sac-là, mais c'est pas
Oui,
le sien.
oui. Attends, Olivier, on vient de tourner avec.
C'est pas le sien, je t'assure,
ça,
elle
c'est
avait
pas
pas
le
de
sien.
sac.
Mais c'est le sac de qui alors?
Alice? Alice?
Oui,
Alice, dis-moi, c'est à qui ce sac?
c'est le mien.
Non.
Mais si, c'est le mien.
And that is the ending of Emilie Muller. What an incredible ending to this film. Like, I did not expect this 20-minute short to have a plot twist, but it does. And it's a good plot twist. Like, in the first shot of the movie, you see the bag already there. So if you're paying attention, you already know exactly what's going on from the beginning. It's just funny that this 20-minute short sets up its plot twist better than some movies, like feature-length movies do. It's funny, it's wholesome, and it really just goes to show that, you know, she's a good actor. She can really act.
Man, she's a good actress. She can really act.
I can't believe she just made up all that up on the fly. But wait a minute. Some of the things she describes are very, very, very detailed.
Un billet d'avion,
Un vieux billet?
Non, un bien neuf. Qu'un ami m'a envoyé. Paris-Nice, aller-retour. Je sais pas si j'irai.
Et pourquoi ça?
Il m'a dit qu'il avait là-bas un appartement tout blanc qui donne sur la mer. Comme dans un tableau de... Non, en fait, ce serait pour aller voir une tombe. Une tombe. Vous savez, une tombe. Parce que tout au bout de la ville, il y a un cimetière, paraît-il, tout blanc. Matisse, le peintre Matisse est enterré là. Sa tombe est nue, avec un bouquet de fleurs rouges, toujours les mêmes.
Those seem like oddly specific details for someone to just completely pull out of their ass. At a point in the short, the director asks about the pamphlet, and he asks if she's looking for something. And she replies that, yes, I'm looking for a job.
Vous cherchez quelque chose?
En ce moment, rien, mais ça m'arrive de chercher du travail.
Quel genre de travail?
En fait, j'en change tout le temps.
That's weird.
Because, like, nothing in the bag implies that she would be looking for a job. So why would she add that detail for no reason? She didn't have to do that. She could have just said, yeah, I'm looking for my lipstick or something. Why would she make it more difficult for herself to lie? And then when she starts opening up about her struggles connecting with other people, that's really weird. Because nothing in the bag implies that sort of character. At one point, she discusses a friend who...
Je n'en connais qu'un, un seul, mais il est terrible.
Lequel?
Tout le monde l'aime et lui, il n'aime personne.
Continuez.
And that's really weird because nothing in the bag implies that. At one point, she says she was born in Hungary. And again, nothing in the bag implies this. She just says it. But then she actually speaks Hungarian.
Vous êtes de quelle origine?
Je suis hongroise.
Vous pouvez me dire quelque chose comme ça en hongrois? Un poème, par exemple?
Vous n'avez pas compris grand-chose.
Pas grave.
Mint fokos égek mindig, Istenem ápolsz anyám. Mint lengyel könnyű lány, ha odaintik, kinyújtottál a halál oldalán.
D'accord.
Voilà.
So that wasn't a lie. She did not lie about being Hungarian, or at least knowing Hungarian. So where does all this come from? Where do these specific details come from? Where do these weird personal anecdotes come from? Is it all just, oh, she's a good actor, she can make up like fake scenarios, oh, at the top of her head, oh, she's a great actor, she can really act.
She is good. It looks so real.
But just the way she describes these details, both emotional and physical, that you're like, that couldn't have been fake, right? So at one point she pulls out an organ donor card, and she explains that she wants to give her body away to science once she dies. And I assume she's not lying about the card. She's not lied about any of the other items in the bag. So even though we don't see that this is an organ donor card, I'm willing to believe her on that. But if that's the case, does she also want to give her body away to science when she dies? Like, is her and the assistant character, or do they both just like, is it just a coincidence? Maybe she's just playing a character and trying to think of what would best suit this character, but she says this so convincingly, as convincingly as all the weirdly personal and specific details I talked about just a minute ago. Well, that's just because she's a good actor though, right? But right after that, she pulls out a bottle of pills. And she says they're for her insomnia. And she goes on to describe her troubles with insomnia in a very accurate way.
Ça, je n'en prends presque jamais, mais je l'ai toujours sur moi à cause des insomnies. Le plus terrible, c'est entre 4 et 5 heures du matin, quand on n'a rien prévu, qu'on n'a même pas un bon livre ou quelques biscuits à grignoter.
So, do they both have insomnia? I guess. Well, maybe she just knew that these pills were sleeping pills and just made up a story on the spot. But again, like, this description of insomnia is very accurate. I don't know if she just made this up and she just improvised all these details about her struggles with insomnia, and they just happen to be really accurate to what insomnia feels like. Really good acting. Really good acting. My point is, if she was just lying and trying to fool the casting director and with this believable character, she would probably just say something inconsequential to get off of the topic, not come up with this very detailed answer that seems to be very real. And because we know she does speak Hungarian, we know she's not lying about everything she makes up for this character. What I think happened was she pulled out the pill bottle, didn't recognize what kind of pills they were, and said, I have insomnia. Oh, enough with this artsy fartsy bullshit. It doesn't mean anything. She just happened to say insomnia first. Stop reading into it. Maybe the curtains were just blue. I think that she does have insomnia. Near the end, she pulls out a pack of cigarettes. And again, if your interpretation is, oh, she's just a really good actor, and oh, she's just trying to make up the best character, why wouldn't she say, like, oh yeah, I smoke 2 packs a day? But she doesn't say that. She says, you know, it's my friend's pack. I actually don't smoke at all.
Paquet de cigarettes?
Vous fumez beaucoup?
Moi, je fume pas. C'est pour les amis.
Ah oui. Et vous avez beaucoup d'amis?
Non.
Which is a weird detail. So it's not like she's just going along with whatever's in the bag. So I don't really buy that she just made up the story about insomnia. I think it was a genuine description of her experiences with insomnia. It's almost as if she's like using the items in the bag to express herself. When she reads her diary, it's actually the assistant's diary, she reads a quote from it.
Vous pourriez me lire quelque chose comme ça? Enfin, au hasard?
Lundi 7 juillet. J'ai connu le bonheur, mais ce n'est pas ce qui m'a rendue la plus heureuse. C'est joli, non?
C'est de vous?
Non, de Jules Renard. J'ai lu ça dans son journal.
So that quote was definitely not written down in the book, right? She's definitely reading either a blank page or a page with something completely different written on it. At one point, she says, oh, I have a funny joke written down in this diary somewhere. Let me show it to you. And she gets interrupted and they move on to something else before she can do that.
Attendez, il y a une phrase très drôle que j'ai notée l'autre jour, il faudrait que je la retrouve.
We know she hasn't written it down anywhere or prepared a joke for one of these items, but she's not looking for the joke, she's looking for a story to justify the joke. She actually wants to share this joke that she has, and she's using this lie to express her genuine feeling to express this joke. She genuinely likes this joke. She genuinely has insomnia. She genuinely has struggles connecting with people, and she's using a story to express it. And near the end, when she pulls out the nonfiction book and says, oh, it has to have happened in real life for me to care about it, I don't think she's merely lying here. I think this line is indicative of stories' need to be emotionally true. Because she's lying a lot as she's saying this line, but I think she means that the emotions have to have happened in real life. I mean, she's presumably auditioning for a film that is fiction, right? Like, she says she loved the script. So this is not a non-fiction movie. So I think she's just saying it has to come from a real place. And it's not speaking of the script, it's not a coincidence that the script she's auditioning for is about...
Le scénario. Cet homme coincé dans une pièce et cette femme qui court le monde de sa place, ça m'a beaucoup touchée.
And it's no coincidence that when she pulls out a lot of the objects, they somehow relate to this feeling of loneliness and alienation.
Ou alors la solitude, totale. Rien, personne à qui parler. Je rêve de ça quelquefois.
Ça vous fait pas peur?
Non, pas du tout. Très tôt, mes parents m'ont appris à rester seule. Ils me laissaient des après-midi entières avec un livre, oui. Mais j'ai J'ai pas le souvenir d'avoir eu peur, non, jamais.
And I kind of interpret that friend of hers that everyone seems to love, but he has problems connecting with people, is her.
Ah oui, c'était faux. Je n'ai eu en connais qu'un, un seul, mais il est terrible.
Lequel?
Tout le monde l'aime et lui, il n'aime personne.
Continuez.
I mean, maybe that's a bit far-fetched for some people's interpretation, and that's fair. You can interpret it differently, but doesn't it make sense with everything else we know about her? I don't know, and I'll never know, and that's kind of the point. I'm not gonna mull over every detail, debating whether it's real or fake, and if you disagreed with me and you think some of the things I thought were real were just fake, then by all means disagree with me. But my point is, it's not so clear-cut what is real and what is fake. And debating in detail whether each point is real or not is missing the point. The point is that these fake lies reveal Emily's character. Like, we learn more about Emilie than the assistant whose bag we've actually been riffling through for the past 20 minutes. The point is that stories reveal the character of the author. What stories resonate with people and what stories people tell you a little bit about them. So I kind of reject the idea that she's just making up random details for no rhyme or reason. It's kind of the same as going, the curtains were just blue. Any detail that someone makes up on the spot is going to tell you about their character, because there are no rules to what they can or can't make up. It's fictional. And even if she doesn't even realize she's telling us about herself, it's all informed by who she is. Telling stories is revealing a part of yourself. And that's what I love about it. It's why I make movies. It's why I love movies. And it's why I love this film, for so beautifully putting exactly what I love about art.
C'est fou quand on est un peu curieux ce qu'on peut trouver dans les petites annonces. Hein. Et puis, je trouve que c'est tellement formidable de savoir que quelques mots dans un journal peuvent changer une vie.
So that is why Emilie Muller is my favorite film of all time. It's inspiring because of just how much it does with so little, and because it just completely summarizes what I love about art in 20 minutes. And most of all, it's true. Emotionally, at least. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I normally don't like saying this kind of YouTuber outro, but subscribe if you want more movie analysis and reviews. Some are more focused on fun, some are more like about thoughtful analysis and whatnot, but it's all me. Or leave a comment if you just seen a film that really surprisingly resonated with you. I genuinely love to hear it. Just know that whatever you say in the comments, I can deduce your entire personality from it.